Alright guys, how are you guys doing today? Welcome to Unveil. As you all know, every month we are doing a book, and for this month of July, that's right, we're doing the book of Haggai. And with that, two of us here will be guiding you. Not that we are experts, but we are excited to read and to share what our insights are on the book of Haggai. And we hope that we can be your guide and journey with you together. So, who are we? Well, I'm Ivan. I'm a crew Singapore staff for 15 years. And I'm also working with the Athletes in Action Ministry. And this is...
I'm Mok. I'm Ingren. You can call me Mok. And I'm currently training in orthopedic surgery in NUH. And I recently came to faith about 2 years ago. And excited to read this book with Ivan. You know, so when we started deciding which book to read, when you first suggested Haggai, I was a bit concerned, right? Because I haven't really read the Old Testament, and I was more comfortable in the New Testament. So yeah, thank you that you continue to persevere in asking me to read this book.
Yeah, I mean, the Old Testament has a lot of gems in it, right? And I think we choose the book of Haggai also because, in case you all didn't know, the book of Haggai is actually the second shortest Old Testament book. Shortest being, guess. I don't think you guys can get it. It's Obadiah. Obadiah is the shortest Old Testament book. So, Mok, book of Haggai, right? How is this whole format going to play out for us?
Well, I think we have broken it down into 8 sessions. So there are 2 chapters in this book, and
only 2.
Yeah, 2. But we are going to break it into 8 sessions. We go through it very slowly, just about 5 to 6 verses each time, so that we can digest it and really try to apply it between 2 of us, and hopefully you can apply it at home as well.
Excellent. And for today, we're just going to do a short introduction for the book of Haggai. So, no prizes for those who can guess. Who wrote the book of Haggai?
Haggai. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Haggai.
I mean, if you're Singapore, Haggai. Maybe if you're in the States, Haggai. Europe is I don't know. But Haggai, right? Haggai is the prophet. He wrote the book of Haggai. Right, let me give you a bit more of a background story. So as you all know, King Nebuchadnezzar, who was the ruler of the Babylonian Empire, actually tore down the whole city of Jerusalem and actually destroyed the temple of God, which was built by Solomon. Right, and then the whole of Israel, the people, were exiled to Babylon. But halfway through their capture, in the nutshell, the Persian Empire became the greater power. Okay. They took over the land, of the empire. And King Cyrus, did I pronounce it correctly?
Yeah.
King Cyrus, right? Right. He decided that he's giving permission for the Israelites to return back to Israel. So after being exiled for X number of years, when they returned back, they didn't return back all one shot. They returned back in 3 batches. Okay. The first batch, as you can read in the book of Haggai, is led by Zerubbabel. The second batch was led by Ezra, and the third batch was led by Nehemiah. And Haggai was part of the first batch. So you guys may be wondering, what is the purpose of the book of Haggai? Mok, what do you think was the purpose of the book of Haggai?
I think as I read through these 2 chapters, clearly what was happening is that the people were not building God's temple. Right? When they came back, there was sluggishness, they were focused on their own things. Yes. And I think the whole purpose of the book of Haggai was to encourage the Jews to rebuild the temple, back to its original glory.
Yeah, Haggai, as what Mok says, was encouraging the people to build the temple. And also he was asking them, to consider their misplaced priority. Misplaced priorities, right? Yeah. So as you read the whole book of Haggai, Mok, what were some of your favorite verses or verses that stood out to you?
Well, I think the first thing when you talk about misplaced priorities is that God is persistently reminding the people to consider your ways. So this is seen in verse 1:5, chapters 1:7, as well as even at the end in verse 2:15. It's really to consider. And I think that's one of the key themes in this book.
Yeah, another key theme I picked out is there is consequences for disobedience. And we'll dive deep into that the next following episodes.
Yeah, I think God's pattern of this world is that when we disobey Him, there are consequences, right? And I think there is a very stark descriptions of pictures of futility. Futility meaning you do something, you expect to get back something, but you don't get it. you know. And I think that speaks to a lot of us, because a lot of times, even in the New Testament age, you know, we feel a lot of futility, whereby we don't feel fulfilled, you know.
Yeah.
We keep giving, we work hard, we have families, but then something is empty in us. And I think these 2 chapters really speaks and direct us into the diagnosis of this problem.
Excellent. In case you all didn't know, Mok is actually a 2 times gold medalist in the SEA Games. He's an athlete, and as all athletes, we always need to do warm-up, right? A proper warm-up prepares you well for the competition. In the same way, this episode is an introduction. It's your warm-up. Until then, see you guys.
All right, see you.